This is George Shamoun. In this video, we're gonna be talking about how to select a coding language to learn, a programming language. So I think depending on your skills and your needs, what do you need it for, then you select it. And whether you wanna learn it or have somebody do the work for you using that specific coding language. But first, you have to decide what you want to do, what's the end result, and what do you need it for, what you want to achieve. So you want to make sure you have a use for the language, because if you don't need it, you're not going to achieve anything. You're just learning to learn the language. It doesn't make a lot of sense, because so if you're tuning in, let me know if you are a programmer or a web developer, or what language you use, what programming language you use, and and uh, we can all learn from a two-way conversation. I'm not a programmer, but I learn. I like to learn on the side technical skills, and coding and programming is one of them. So I learned some web development languages like HTML, CSS, and some JavaScript, but these are not, serious programming languages. They're coding, for the website. So if you're into programming, let us know what language you use and what do you need it for, because it looks like you can do a lot with languages, even if you don't work for a company. You work. So are you using Python, Fortran, PHP? Let us know, because I think there are a lot of use. Somebody is here. Dark Reaper, Vinny Torres. Hi, welcome. Are you guys into programming? Do you know any programming languages? Let me know, and let's talk about it. What kind of programming language you use, and what do you need it for? Myself, I learned HTML, CSS. These are coding languages for the websites. For if you want to make a web page. So and no, but yeah, okay, yeah. So, programming is good, and you can use it in any language, and you don't have to be an expert programmer. You can do basic programming, and you can do a lot with it, because I know from using Linux operating system, the Linux command line, you start typing the commands, you can do a lot with it, even though that's not programming, just accessing the shell and typing programs in it. So yeah, I code, nigga. I made my mode menus for Call of Duty, my nigga. Okay, you must be a good programmer. Code them, code M. Yes, yeah. So we're word up. Yep. Yes. So, you know, I am a telco design engineer. So I don't do programming, but I use computers and software to do my job. But recently, they showed me a tool that's very interesting. And it looks like it's not on a website. It's a web page, but on your local computer. It's not something fancy. And I was interested to know how they did it, because I want to learn how to do it myself. I want to do it at home. This is a good skill to learn. And what happened? This web page, which is a software or application on your own desktop on a computer, you just enter information that the pieces of information that you kind of combine, and then you it has the it yields, like it produces the output, the same information but in a different format. This is why I found it interesting, and I want to know how they did it. I have the feeling it was done with a PHP. PHP is a back-end scripting language. It's not a programming language. So sorry, got to go. Okay, thank you. Make sure Reaper, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you'll get more notification when I go when I make those videos. Just make sure you subscribe if you haven't yet. And we understand you have to go, you're busy, but make sure you come back later or another time. So yeah, so I don't know how it was done, but I have the feeling it was done by using PHP or JavaScript. I am not sure 100%, but I want to know how they did it. So, excuse me. So, if you have any idea about any programming language that you learn and what you do with it, let us know. So, let's learn from each other. This is a two-way conversation, so we can teach each other. I mean, I can teach you except the basic stuff that I know when it comes to programming, because I'm not a coder, I'm not a programmer, but I want to learn it on the side. That's why I talk about it, and then you know yeah, if you have any questions, let me know, submit it in the comments. So I have the feeling, because that web page, you enter information, the input, and you get the output, the same information in a different format. It's like one line, and they combine this information in a certain format that we need. So that's what I want to say. So you have the input, certain information, and you have the output. That program, it will output the same information in a different format. So I have the feeling it's, I don't know, maybe I'm not sure if they use C sharp for back end. I'm not sure about this, but it looked like it's on a web page. So I have the feeling it's either JavaScript or PHP or Perl, some kind of back end scripting language. Not a programming. Now, those scripting languages, they're not programming like C and Fortran and COBOL and those. Those are programming languages, and but the PHP, it's a back-end language. The JavaScript is their high-level programming language or scripting language. They are high level. They're not close to the hardware of the machine. Because programming comes in levels too. If you're programming in C, you're getting close to the hardware. But JavaScript, PHP, you're not getting close to the hardware. So yeah, let me know if you have any question or if you have any comments. So yeah, I'm back. So if you have any questions, or if you want to share your knowledge about coding, do you code? What language do you use? Are you a web developer? Are you a programmer, like programming in C, C++, C sharp, what kind of programming? So basically, let me show you what those guys did. So it's a web page, and you enter information, and you enter this box and this box and this, And then the output is this different format, the same information that you entered, obviously, but in a different format. This, but instead of the drawing, it's a text, just like this one here, like this. I don't know if you see it. So basically, you input those four, you know, languages for information, for data, and like alphanumeric, then it's gonna output this. So I'm gonna make a more a clear page maybe or something, you know. So if you're tuning in, I wanna thank you so much. Make sure you submit a comment or a question or you know. So or you can't tilt the phone because it gets locked. Any questions? Yeah, again, we're talking about programming languages, coding, and how to select one to learn. And if you already know a language that you use, let us know. Make sure you share your comments or your knowledge so we can talk about it, because this is a two-way conversation. And also make sure, if you like this kind of discussions about coding, technical topics related to software and telecommunications and circuit design, data communications, let me know and submit your questions and subscribe, you know. Yeah, and don't hesitate to submit your questions or share your knowledge to help everybody on a group. And if you have any questions, let us know. It's good to learn coding and or programming, even though you can be learning some basic stuff that you can do certain tasks and achieve certain results. So this is why it's important to know, you know. But if you don't like it, you don't have to, because somebody else is a programmer. They're doing your languages, you know. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions, and make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future updates like these, you know. And let us know what you like to learn about. I mean, you don't even need HTML, CSS. I don't think you'll need that, you know. I mean, it's good to know, but initially they're not needed where I am, you know, as a telco engineer. They're not. Any questions, comments? We don't have, except couple people here and there. People are tuning in and then out. And I am hoping somebody will ask questions so we can. Shamoon, what's Python used for? Oh, thank you for your question, Danny Shamoon. Yeah, Python. Python is used as a back-end language, and it's used in data science, uh, um, in data science, and what else? In scientific calculations, and it's used as a back end on a web server, for websites where you enter information and you can get a result. So basically, it's got a lot of frameworks and libraries that you can use. It does good when it comes to scientific calculation. So they use it in AI and other stuff, related to science and calculation and algorithm. That's Python. So, and what's good about Python, it's an English-like language. You can read it. It's not doesn't have a lot of abstraction to it, like other programming languages, and it's a high-level language. So you don't have to be an expert programmer to learn it. You can learn it fast because you can. It's readable. It's English-like, but you have to know the syntax, which is a programming language too. So I hope I answered your questions. So who else? Anybody else have any questions? Guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any future updates about software technologies that we can discuss. And also, this is a two-way conversation. If you have any questions, you can submit it. If you have any ideas, any knowledge you want to share with others, we can learn from each other. It's not. This is not one-way conversation. So yeah, anyone else have any questions, or you want to share any knowledge about coding languages, programming? Thanks, good job. You're welcome anytime. You're welcome, Danny Shawn. So yeah, there are so many programming languages, but you want to make sure what do you need it for? What are you trying to achieve? You don't want to learn anything that you don't need. You have to know what you need it for. Myself, I am new. I just know the basic of HTML and CSS and some JavaScript. So I can't do much with programming. I can make a simple web page. That's it. I don't, but I'm trying to advance my skills to the next level where I can do like some kind of applications like what I mentioned before, where you enter information on a web page and you can get an output in a different format. Just that's an example. I'm not looking for calculations here because it depends what kind of work you do, what kind of job, and what do you need it for. And I am a telecom engineer. I am an engineer in the telecom industry. I design wide area networks and related to equipment and point to point circuits. Basically, it's communication circuits. So internet level layer 3, layer 2, Ethernet, and some TDM, but mostly Ethernet. But in my job, we use the computers to do certain tasks. And one of the things we're doing, we create facilities. Okay, we have another question. Danny Shamon said, "What's the easiest coding language to learn for a beginner?" The easiest one is Python. Python, and you can do a lot with it. It does lot of algorithm, data science, AI, but it's very basic. I mean, it's not that easy when you start, but for a beginner, the first language, it's good. Yeah. So and you can do a lot of meaningful, like if you want to do some calculation, you can do that. starting, like, let's say you want to multiply numbers, divide numbers. That's the most basic stuff that you can do with Python, but you can do a lot with it. The more you learn, the more you do with it, and the easiest one also is HTML, CSS. If you want to create a web page, that's how I started myself, making a web page. These are they're not programming language, they're for web development, to make a web page. HTML, CSS, that's how you start. You start with this way you'll have an idea how to construct a code on a in a code editor, because those coding language, you have to write them, to type them, and compose them in a code editor. There's specific software where you write those programs to convert them to meaningful. And one of the best code editors is Visual Studio Code. It's for free. Anybody can download it, whether you have Microsoft computer operating system, whether you have a Mac or Linux. You can download Visual Studio Code. It's free, and you can make codes in it, create codes, and it has a lot of capability. So this is how I would start, and you can get a book. Books are very helpful. You can take an online course, but if you get a book from the bookstore or online, some of them are easy. There's a series, it's called In Easy Step, like Python in Easy Step, PHP in Easy Step, HTML in Easy. And those are books that simplify the coding language. And then you can follow page by page, or program by program, and you can type it in the Visual Studio Code and see for yourself what it does. So it will be that's how I would start this way. But also you can take online courses. There's a lot of online courses that are very cheap, and there's a lot of free information on the internet if you want to learn coding and programming. But I would recommend taking a course online or in school, and that's how you do it. Because somebody will guide you and they'll take you step by step. And again, it depends what you want to do. Some people want to do game programming. Game programming is very difficult because you're getting into very hard languages like C and C++. So I wouldn't recommend game programming for a beginner. This is very advanced. You have to be good in programming, and it has to be your job or something. But anybody can learn basic programming, and like Python, HTML for a web page, CSS3. And what's good, Python, it can work on a back end of a web server, and it will work with HTML and CSS. HTML, CSS is the web page, the front end of a website. Python will be the back end, and you can send information to Python, and it will give you, the result on a web page. Yeah, I hope that helps. Anybody have any questions? Let us know. And if you already know how to use a programming language, let us know. Share your information. And if you're interested to program or to make a project and you're not sure what kind of programming to use, maybe we can discuss it here. So yeah, and you can find a lot of information online on the internet. Once it depends what you're looking for. Just search the internet, programming languages, and then once you get a list, you dig deeper into it. You click on one, and then you read about it, what it does, what do they need it for. So again, how you start, you want to know what do you like to do, what you want to learn. If you want to learn how to make websites, a web page, website, then you want to get into web development, and then you get in, like I said, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript is very important. JavaScript is for interactivity. You use it, because HTML, CSS by itself, create a static page. A static page, it means you look at the page, it doesn't do anything. You know, it has colors, it has fonts, it has a lot of decoration, but it doesn't have any interactivity. It means if you click on it, if you load it, it static, you know, it does not change. But if you learn JavaScript will, you add codes to the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript will make your web page interactive. Interactive, it means it's not static, it does something. Let's say you can program it in a way when you click the mouse on a web page, it changes color from, let's say, gray to red. You can click on a circle on a web page. You can make it uh, a square or a rectangle. You know, basically the JavaScript, the basis of it, that you do something on a web page, like you move a mouse, you click a mouse, you hit the keyboard, and it will respond with an event in response to what you did, you know. So this is JavaScript. I mean, it's kind of more complicated, but it depends how much you know. I know the very basics. I don't know much about it, but I can create a small program where you can click the mouse, it'll change color, it do something, you know. It rotates a circle or you know, a page or you know. So that these are the most basic ones, but this is how you start. So yeah, so this is how you start. First, static page, some interactivity on a front page, and the second step, that's what I want to learn. I don't know this yet. You have to go to the back end of a website, because a website is made of the front end and the back end. The front end, where the browser, or if you're searching the internet, that's what you see, the front end. But the web page, and what you're doing, it's interacting with a server on the internet. It's a web server, but it's doing something. It's connected to a database, and that's what you call the back end of a server. You know that you don't see it if you're browsing the internet, because you know, you get information on a web page, it's coming from database, and that database resides on a server in a web hosting company. So this is yeah, so that's what I'm looking for to learn myself. And I'm looking into PHP, because I was told the PHP, it's easy and you can do a lot with it, you know. So PHP is used on the back end of a website, the back end, and also Python is used on the back end. But you can use them also if you're training, if you want to learn them. You can use them on your own computer. You know, once you download the Visual Studio Code, which is free, like I said, you can use those programming languages. You can learn how to create a code and what does the code do, and it mimic a website or a back-end server, but it's on your computer. That's why I recommend using Visual Studio Code. It's a free code editor, and the code editor, you need a code editor to write codes and programs, because you just cannot write them on in Microsoft Word or in a notepad. You need a code editor, and the code editor will convert your code to a meaningful result. And this is what Visual Studio Code does. Okay, I hope you out. Let me know if you have any. Make sure you subscribe. We have people tuning in and out. I don't have a lot of people, just one person now, but we have people tuning in and out. Make sure you ask questions and share your knowledge about coding and programming languages, so we can talk about it, and we can learn from each other. So Anyone else? Questions, comments? Any topics you're interested to learn about in the future related to software technologies? We can talk about it. I can do my research, and I may not know a lot of topics, but I can look into it, and if I can find information and understand it, I will relay the message here and I will present it. So, anyone else have any questions? All right, no more. See if you have somebody subscribed. I am back. Okay, so nobody is watching, no more questions coming in. I mean, there's somebody showed up now. There's two people. Yeah, so again, we're talking about coding languages, how to get started with coding languages, whether it's for web development or software development, programming. How do you start? What's the easiest one for a beginner? Uh, we agreed that it's HTML, CSS for a web page and Python for the back end of a website, and it does calculation AI. It's got a lot of nice libraries for math and science. So it's used in artificial intelligence and data science. It does a lot of calculation. It's got a lot of calculation, and it's not too difficult to learn. It's English like, and if somebody is new, they start with it. So welcome to this presentation. I want to thank you so much for tuning in. Whether you're on this live stream or you tuned in and out or you'll be on a future replay, I want to thank you so much for joining. Let me know if you have any questions or if you want to share your knowledge about topics related to software, programming, coding languages, web development, programming. So, how do you learn it? What do you do with it? What language do you use? What's your interest? Let us know and we can talk about it. I don't claim to be an expert. I am a telecom engineer, but I'm learning on the side programming and coding because I like to raise my skills for the next level. I use computers in my job to do the job, but on the side I like to learn coding. That's another level. If you want to increase, you want to up your skills. Yeah, Python is great, but also JavaScript is good. And but I found the JavaScript difficult. If you want to make a useful programs and projects, programming can be difficult. But what's easy to start with, relatively easier than other languages, and you can make a simple program that you can see a result. But once you want to make bigger programs, it's going to be complicated. You have to be a programmer or you have to train a lot or learn a lot. So, myself, I look for simple tasks that make my life easier and, you know, save me time. Like, let's say we input information in a system and then it will generate a line of the same information, different format. This can be done using a program versus doing it manual. So you enter the information as inputs in a program and it will output the format that you want, the same information in a different format. Anyone else? It looks like the topic of coding and programming is has a lot of people interested in it. Maybe we should more talk more about it and we discuss more topics. I have to look into it and research more. If you're on this live stream, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I want to grow it, and in return, I'll keep making those videos to help you and answer your questions with the knowledge that I know. I don't have a lot of knowledge in coding and programming, but I like it. I'm learning it on the side, and I want to share what I'm learning, and I like other people to share what they're learning, so we can all benefit from each other. I'm back. Fortran is used for scientific calculation, but Fortran is the first language I learned, but I forgot it already. I learned it in college, and it was very difficult. I did not like it because I did not understand it. But Fortran is for scientific calculation. Nowadays, it's some places they still use Fortran. Not a lot of places, but it's still used. Fortran for engineer. It's for scientific calculations. So, all right, I've been going about 37 minutes. I start to get tired. Let me know so I can answer it because I am about to wrap up the session. We've been going over 30 minutes, 37 minutes. So, all right, with that said, I want to end the video and I want to thank you so much for tuning in. Let me know if you have any questions or there's any specific topics along the lines of my YouTube channel. Thank you so much. Have a great day, great evening, and great afternoon. It depends where you are. Thank you.